John chapter 18. You see? But what we noticed while we was doing that lesson was we always talk about that Garden of Gethsemane moment that the Lord had. From that point on, when he was like, okay, this is what I got to do, it was full speed ahead. It was full speed ahead.
Right.
So he wasn't going to take no letters. You see?
Right.
It's all about the mindset. You see? Let this mind be in you that was in Yahawashi.
Right.
You see? He embraced the bitter so that he embraced the straight so he could get to the kingdom.
There you go.
You see? That's what it's all about. It ain't about flavor and taste and all that. You completely missed the point.
Right. Even in your diet, you should have bitters. Now, you brothers and sisters, you passing by these African stores in your neighborhood, which some of them are Jakes from West Africa, but even if it's not, in those stores, they have bitters. You can learn how to make your own, which Lord willing, we can do a video at some point, or you can go to those African marts. Don't just pass those, because those are stores for culture. In the so-called black culture, what is the medicine outside of Robitussin, NyQuil, aspirin? Okay, so you go to these different stores that are around about you, or you look it up, African market near me, and you go in there, you ask them, do y'all have bitters? Okay, who put me on it was a brother in London, and I believe his family is from Ghana or something like that, the brother Shakal. I know he went and visited there, but I you know, at the end of the day, once I started taking them, because we used to talk about health all the time, once I started taking them, my digestion got 100% better. Now there's more, all right, than just the bitters. You got to change your diet. It's a lot more, but that is a great part of your diet, and it doesn't taste good. Okay, you can get it in a pill form, but you know, the liquid as well. And once the back of your tongue, those receptors in the back of your tongue taste that bitterness, it helps secrete mucus through the bowel move, the system. It helps things flowing. It's an igniter. So going through the bitter and the truth, and for the sake of the truth, how much more? Now read that.
It's Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. He said unto me, take it and eat it up.
Right, give me the little book, which represents the volume of the book. Now someone will say, well, the New Testament wasn't written at that time. But the New Testament was ultimately written from the foundation of the earth. Everything was written from the foundation of the earth. So the little book symbolizes the volume of the book. Okay? Was not Yahawashi already crucified by this time? Didn't he say it is finished?
Yep.
So within the book, within the volume of the book is everything, man. Okay? So read it again.
Revelation 10 and 9, it says, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up.
Eat it up. Eat this roll. All right? As Ezra says, look it up in the Apocrypha, devour wisdom. Okay? Because eating something, okay, in an ancient world, it can also be likened unto having eaten, taken in understanding. Like when Yahawashi came to the Apostle Paul and he said, rise up, kill and eat. People took that to say he meant to eat the creeping thing, like the Lord, you know, put you in a trance to tell you to eat a bear. To eat some, you see the worms? You see the snails? I cleanse that now. But that's the stupidity a lot of people run around with.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But ultimately, what was he telling him to do? Rise, okay, kill the old way of understanding and how you look at the Gentiles, and take in and eat this new way where they're going to be justified by faith.
Can I back you up?
Yep.
It's Malachi 4 and 2. It says, but unto you that fear my name, the Son of Righteousness, let me read that again. Malachi 4 and 2. But unto you that fear my name, shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Now you always say that the kingdom of heaven starts in the minds of the elect. Now that we understand the way that the Lord has given us, our way leads to us wanting to eat better, wanting to take care of ourselves. Healing in the spirit and in our flesh is happening because we've clung onto Yahawashi.
Right. Taking in the bitter, the repentance, acknowledging that you didn't know nothing, acknowledging that you're off, you're wrong, you need to, you need favor. To even come to the mindset that you need a covering, right, is an act of humility.
Amen.
That's taking in a bitter position. Damn, I need my Lord. So it all goes into your sacrifice.
That's just like when you see somebody that go to Alcoholics Anonymous or any of those type of deals, they always say that admitting that you got a problem is the beginning.
The beginning.
You see? So when you got somebody that's addicted to something, it's hard for them to just drop it. You know what I'm saying? But to acknowledge you got a problem in the first place is the beginning.
You get it?
You know?
Some people come into this thing and they don't think they have problems. Therefore, when they're corrected or rebuked, it's always a rebellion.
Right.
If somebody that's self-aware isn't fit to judge. You come into this thing, right, and you're not able to pinpoint where you're going off at, what you need correction at. You're not fit to be in a leadership position. And we've seen that play out time and time again as of late.
Right. Because some things could just be a check of your mindset. That's what that was with Assad. Although ultimately with them guys, it's the doctrine. They're off, period. They're just not right, in my opinion. Okay, that call, and the Lord has been calling out to these guys for a long time. Y'all see what he just did to their leader, although you all separated from him. At the end of the day, y'all haven't changed y'all teachings.
Right.
So really, y'all still with him.
Still wearing them hats.
You still wearing a hat. You still talking about the Apostle Paul don't know what he's talking about. Okay, you still saying now the book of Hebrews ain't the word of God. Esther, maybe do y'all believe that? So it's more than that. The Lord is ultimately giving our people a final call, as the scriptures say in Malachi, the 4th chapter. That's the final admonition, the final warning. Okay, and ultimately the Lord is just going to start judging. Okay, so it will behoove you to hearken. You teaching off doctrines, you just being rebellious, because that's in the heart of Israel. It's in their mind, it's in their flesh to just rebel. That's naturally how they are, especially if it's somebody that looks like them. Especially if it's an Israelite male. The natural order is to rebel, because a lot of our people have what? Daddy issues. So seeing an Israelite male rebuking them, telling them something, the natural response is, nigga, F is you.
Right.
Jack.
My daddy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you come into this truth, that's a major part of the walk, is being able to receive correction from the man of the Lord. So if you have that problem, naturally, you're not going to be able to take in the fullness of the gospel.
Keep read that again in Revelation.
All right, this is Revelation.
Read that.
Okay, this is 2nd Ezra 8:4. All right, it says. Now I'm gonna start at
Yep.
All right. 2nd Ezra 8:1. He said, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few.
That's why you see few. That's why you see few that's standing up for the Lord, and you see many that's not. You know what I'm saying? Even though we all in the same nation, but you see the divide. You got it.
Verse 2. I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it much mold whereof earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created.
Jake go say that means he got a backward spirit. Well, nigga, your socks mix match. What that mean about you?
Oh man. Okay, 2nd Ezra 8:3.
You
All
got
right.
one ankle sock on, one tube sock on. Nigga, you can't talk about us.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. It says, there be many created, but few shall be saved.
Woo! Many created, but few shall be saved. That's a bitterness you got to take in.
Yeah.
Jeremiah had to go through bitterness to see his people judged.
Yeah.
He lamented about it, like, damn. So the Lord is ultimately letting us know we had to. That's an aspect of this truth. A lot of our people are going to be destroyed.
And if you're a man of the Lord and you haven't built that calluses up to know that, hey, there's going to be people that you may be fond of, that you might be cool with, that's going to get judged, you're not going to be able to do this job long term.
Right.
It's gonna weigh on your spirit. You said when Alan, not that we give a shit about the nigga for doing all the wickedness he did, but you said when all that news came out, it made all us feel kind of drained. Like, damn.
I was hoping it wasn't true.
Like, damn, like I wanted him to get right.
We were just okay with you going off on the doctrine. We didn't need to know all that.
That just made me like, God damn, dude. Damn.
That's the Lord allowing us to look into that hole.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord's looking to the hole, because basically what's happening is all of the hearts of the people, the minds of the people are being made manifest, because that's what comes with the word. Yahweh Shai, go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 4. So answered I and said, swallow them down, O my soul, understanding and devour wisdom.
See, swallow down my soul, understanding, and devour wisdom. What's that saying underneath?
2 Ezra 8 and 4. That's what we're reading.
Right. Yep. So there you go. So the bower of wisdom. So read that again.
Right. This is Revelation 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
So that means when you eat it, it's sweet. Right. So you find out you're an Israelite, you hear Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and you just like, yes.
Part of the royal family.
I'm a holy people. We the Israelite. This is what this Bible's really talking about. Cool. I got some fringes, or maybe, you're watching my elder, my teacher, you know what I'm saying? And then you got to change. You're still in hell. You got to ultimately be long-suffering, patient, tested.
You see how wicked the word really is, and you can't do nothing about it.
You got to see the churches go back and forth, which is an aspect of the Bible. I don't understand why you don't think it's going to happen now.
You know those movies where they sit the guy in the chair and they prop his eyes open and they run all those images and he forced to look at it? That's the prophecy.
Caucasian overload.
Yeah. When you get this truth, the Lord forces you to look at all the bullshit, and it makes your soul ache, and you still got to strive lawfully as you're seeing all this evil and wickedness play out.
Yep.
He's forcing you to look at it. So yeah, it's bitter.
I was at the store the other day. Getting me some stuff to juice. You know what I'm saying? It's a transformer checking out the food. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. What I'm gonna do?
Nothing.
Nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? You just go through the line. You know what I'm saying? And hope that they don't touch your food.
Right. You don't know. I mean, you may be a part of a camp and they let you down. You get wrong. They take your money. They do some wickedness. You find out. You know what I'm saying? It's bitter. But you still, the truth is still the truth.
You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
You know what I'm saying? So these are things you're going to have to go through. Having a camp leader that's an asshole.
Right.
Having to deal with brothers and their different personalities and their approach to situations in contrast to your approach. Sometimes if you get irritated by it.
Right.
That's why you have to have your Yahweh. You see, the reason Cash Money broke up, the Fat Boys, okay, and all of these different groups, Slum Village, okay, the reason they all broke up is because they didn't have Yahweh Shai.
Right.
So here it is, you got all of these opposing ideas and ways and backgrounds coming together, and y'all going on tour. Then you got to be amongst them. You like, this nigga want to talk about garlic all day. One nigga want to be into the holes. One nigga's about this. One nigga's deep, Illuminati. And, on the rap, I want to talk about this. But nah, man, this beat make me feel like talking about some hoes.
Right.
Then eventually they just break up. They argue over the money. Right? So coming into this truth, if you don't apply your Yahweh Shai into your walk, into your mindset, these things will eventually devour you. Get that bitterness in Hebrews? Go ahead. So it's sweet in his mouth. All right? It's sweet in his mouth. It tastes good. I'm an Israelite. Hell yeah, I'm gonna join the camp.
Judah!
That's right. Right.
Revelation.
Or you could be a woman. All right, you believe, but you ain't got no man. You lonely, you ain't got no friends that believe. Right? Hey, the Lord may be testing you. Are you gonna get weak? There's all kind of situations each member of the body has to go through. And this is a part of the bitterness, because every situation the Lord put us in is for our growth.
That's it.
And you have to find the reasoning of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua in your situation, even when it's like, damn, this hurts.
And sometimes you may go through some shit, not even for your sake. There's things that Elder Yatzazak been through, you've been through, that was so that they can expound wisdom on how to deal with that situation for younger brothers.
Help other brothers. Yep. The Lord will put you through something to be an example, because the Lord is basically like, you can handle it. So he puts it on you, and then ultimately it's for other brothers to gain understanding of how to move in opposition to how you may have moved or a situation you may be in. Okay, go ahead. All right.
I got what you asked for Hebrews.
Yep, read that.
Oh, this is Hebrews 12. I'm going to start at 11. The point is in 15. All right? It reads, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
See, exercise. So it's that the Lord don't work like to where it's great now. It gets greater later.
Delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. Healing takes time. Healing takes obedience, diligence, faith, prayer, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And if you trust, you can be healed. That's the healing process of Israel. It's a process. You know.
And Jake can't stick with nothing. If you come to Jake with a 5-year plan, they ain't trying to hear the shit you got to say. They're not in the spirit. They're in the spirit of Esau. They want it. It's my money. I want it now.
Yep. They got a 5-minute plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're like Edomites. When you read that, go ahead.
Yep. Verse 12, Hebrews 12:12. Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men and holiness. The point is in 15.
Okay.
We're gonna get
Go ahead.
we're gonna jump to 15. Hebrews 12:15. All right, it says, looking diligently,
Right.
lest any man fall of the grace of God,
Right.
lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you.
Right. So any root of bitterness spring up trouble you. And bitterness comes with being an Israelite. Now we getting ready to be blamed for everything, hated by the world. You got to go through another aspect of bitterness. Jacob's trouble. These are things that Israel don't want to hear about. You're going to manifest Jacob's trouble. Basically, you mad at us for manifesting salvation, because just like in ancient Egypt, Israel was in a position of trouble at the point of deliverance. Pharaoh and his army with them big hard-ass feet on them horses, okay, shit flying out their ass, a horse just Pharaoh, he mad, he got a straight face, coming towards them, and the only thing in between, they get the water right there.
Yeah.
The sea is right there.
Yeah.
And then he coming right there, so it was a position of trouble, and that's how the Lord's gonna get us out of here.
Man, Jake, you haven't built up your faith in order to see with your spiritual eye. All they can see is with the eyes on their face.
Right.
And we've been given like the example, the water was right there, right? You got to be in a place where you can understand, like, the Lord's going to get us out of impossible situations that seem like there's no escape.
Right.
But 2/3 of our people, that's why they get worried when we talk about Jacob's trouble, because they don't have spiritual sight.
Right.
So they don't understand how the Lord could, maneuver us out of these situations that's coming upon.
Well, that means you haven't tapped into the resurrection.
Yeah, they don't believe it.
If you believe in a resurrection, a lot of these worries that come with the flesh should be alleviated.
Yeah, we got a lot of lettuce eating out there.
There's too
A lot
many
of
lettuce
lettuce
eating.
Oh, man. Verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
I would say that Jake is in that same spirit.
Instant
You know what I'm
gratification.
saying? Jake wanted now. You know? Jake don't want to crack no eggs, but he want an omelet.
But
Right.
this nigga Esau, all he had to do was fast.
Right.
Damn, you can't miss one.
He couldn't. He was so bitter with being hungry that he said, you can have his birthright." He knew what the birthright entailed, but he understood that that's something down the line. So in his eyes, what profit is this birthright to me? That's down the line, nigga. I'm hungry now.
Jake got that same spirit.
They got that same spirit. So Esau didn't want to go through the bitterness of just waiting for a meal. So it's likening the bitter situations you go through, or ultimately giving up to the spirit of Esau.
The scriptures say the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduces them. There's an experiment they do with kids. They'll put Oreo cookies on the table. Don't eat the Oreo cookies, right? But they'll put Oreo cookies on the table in front of 2 kids, and they'll say, "Hey, if you wait till I get back, I'll give you twice as many cookies." You know what all the kids do? They eat the cookie right then, because they can't understand the concept of waiting. All right? Our people don't understand the concept of getting something on the back end. They need it right then, and it's a very childish behavior. It's a huge lack of order. You always bring up, or the scriptures bring it up. All right? That you're like a beast unless you have the order that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has given us. And our people have become beastly in nature because they don't subscribe to the ways that the Lord has given. The Lord requires for you to be patient, but they want it right now. That's why every head of every camp, they want to be Israelite Tupac. They gotta drop an album. They gotta sell the t-shirts. They got to have the things that make them feel good about themselves here, right now.
Or if you drop your album, don't link it to the truth.
To the ministry.
Don't make merchandise in the ministry, because then your hands ain't clean. You know, at the end of the day, you got an album, shit. You know, hey, if you got a talent and you can make some type of profit off of it, hey, try it out. Be mindful, but try it out. Go ahead.
Continuing on, it's verse 17, Hebrews 12 and 17. For you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
Right.
For he found no place of repentance.
Right, he was rejected. Afterward, after he gave away his birthright, just so he could eat, all right, some chili, basically. Some undone chili.
That was completely beast-like, man.
That was beast-like.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the spirit that's in the earth. People are willing to cast away their bowels, give their soul up for instant gratification. When you look at a guy like Jay-Z, okay, all of these different niggas who made it in the world, ultimately there was a point, because they have talents. Even a guy like Lil Wayne has talents.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But what happens? They get with the left hand, and ultimately their talent becomes a means to destroy other Jakes.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that comes gifts. Okay, you will go further. Here, you get a little more. I'll give you more. Until you completely destroyed and destitute, all right, and you're just practicing all kind of satanic rituals and being a demon.
Yeah, Jay-Z had a song where he said, I used to want to rhyme like Common Sense. You know, Common was on the conscious tip. He said, I used to want to rhyme like Common Sense until I realized it didn't make no sense. I haven't rhymed like Common Sense.
Right. As lyrically, I would be like Talib Kweli.
Yeah.
Did he say that too?
Yeah. But he wanted the carnal things. The gifts of the world seduced him. You know?
He even told you the Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body.
Right. He did.
That was
He's
the
just
chorus.
a dark. You look at him now, his hair all, he just look bugged out.
It's crazy as
They
hell.
got that ditzy, satanic, dark, all of the music, Kanye, all of them.
Yeah,
It's
money.
dark. It's a very dark nigga, just in all black with their fingernails painted. You know, just weird. It's weird when you listen to some of it, because these are niggas we grew up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
That
You
was
see
a
the
part,
transition.
so you see a new album, you're like, let me
Yeah.
see what this dude doing.
You see the transition.
But it's-
You see when they came in,
Yeah.
how they was
Dark.
to how they was once
Right.
they got them awards and all that stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You get Jacob Grammy shit, all bets is off.
True.
Yep, because that Grammy, those Oscars, those are our idols.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's basically, on the left hand, they're doing sacrifices. You're just being brought to another branch of their wicked, because they've hijacked every sect of society, whether it be the music entertainment system, okay, whether it be the school system, the judicial system, all of the governors and mayors. It's
Entertainment.
Yep, it's all ran by this left hand priesthood, and they give people favors that are in positions to be teachers in this, because not everybody is in the order, but it's just certain people there. And ultimately the will of Satan is done, and true justice is never played out. Now, you have something?
I got something. I got
Okay,
one.
okay.
Mark 8:36, it says, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Basically taking the escalator rather than the stairs. Everybody wants an easy route. They don't want to suffer, you know, through patience.
Right.
You know,
Yep, because
obey your thirst, hungry while wait. That's the mantra that's pushed on this place, you know?
Yep.
And our people take on to that wholeheartedly, all right?
Yep.
And them entertainers, they really deal with bitterness. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. You can rap, or you can hoop, or you can catch, you can throw a football, you can do all these different things, but that bitterness comes when they want you to do something other than that.
Now you subject to that. Now they got tape on you. You didn't win amongst them, rubbing elbows, because they know Jake.
Right.
You may have an Edomite walk up to Jake, hey, $20,000, man. You know what I'm saying? We like what you're doing, yada yada yada. Okay, any type of woman you want, any drug you want, and then you get comfortable with these devils, you get drugged.
Right.
Now you wake up, all right, and they had you in a state of psychosis, and you just completely get freaked out. Okay, that movie that just came out is on Amazon. Blink.
Yeah.
Is it called Blink Twice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, Blink Twice, where they had the chickens running around and shit.
Yeah, that's Blink Twice.
Eve. Yeah. Basically, you look at that, and you'll get a glimpse as to what can happen unto you. So now you're subject. You're in slavery. They're your God now. Okay. Now they can control you and they put a chip in some of them. You know, you somewhere and a voice just comes in your head. It's them keeping you in check the whole time, man.
Yep.
That's the type of world we live in.
I saw that on the show one time. I can't think of what it was, but they put a chip behind this chick's eye.
Damn.
Yeah, they put a chick behind her eye, and they had her committing all kind of.
Oh, it's a movie.
She was assassinating people, doing all kind of stuff.
They'll take over her whole neural system.
Yeah, and anytime she tried to buck up, anytime she tried to buck up, a pain would go through her head to where she couldn't do nothing but surrender.
She would come to her senses and be like, "Damn, what am I even doing here?"
Yeah,
you know, they want to. You know how you play a video game and you can pick whatever character you want to play with, and you can make them do whatever. That's what Esau's ultimate goal is for you. He wants, instead of man's goings of the Lord, like it says in Proverbs 20 and 24, he wants man's goings to be of him.
Right.
You know.
Yep. Now,
Revelation.
Read that one more. You start at, now that we done went through all that, now we're gonna go back here because it just makes the point. It all, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up. And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be sweet, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
So it's sweet to the tongue, it's sweet to, but once you gotta digest it, it becomes bitter. And Jake don't want to deal with the bitter. It's sweet at the front of the tongue, but once it gets to the back, you're like, oh shit. Then it goes and you go, oh. So that's how this truth is. So Jake is like, I don't want to taste the bitter. That's just not, it's more of a mindset. Because there's certain things you might not like, but you got to take into consideration how much I sacrifice, what we're really doing. Okay, and you for the sake of your Lord, your Savior, you know what? I'm gonna make this as much as like unto His walk as possible. Right? So, because we don't have to go on the cross, but we have to go through particular things which likens us to His stripes. Okay, we get our stripes in the spirit, man. So if you're gonna choose you got the bitter herb that you may not like it, it's nasty, and you got the lettuce, which is more easy, because you ain't never ate a goddamn hamburger with lettuce on it and was like,
it messed the burger up.
The lettuce being bitter, there is a thing, it's bitter lettuce, but it's a process to it.
It's got to be like fermented type.
It's got to be, you know what I'm saying?
Expired.
It got to be old.
Now these debating apologists, Hebrews, didn't Google that? I'm sure they did. What they saw was just an easier way out,
right,
from their friendly Edomite masters.
Right, and then he came onto the comment board, and the brother cut him off. Brother's got to chill, man.
Yeah.
Let him cook. Let him do.
Oh yeah.
He's wrong. You don't gotta always kick a brother off. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's a complete demon, which he is a demon, right? But let him ultimately let him stay in his position. You don't have to kick him off. You got the wrench. As soon as you get out of here, nigga. And really, I feel you though, right? Because we ain't got time to be going back and forth and debate. But that's the Apostle Tahar. You know
Apostle Tahar, man.
He's all about that. So you let certain, you gotta have discernment with the wrench.
Yeah, for sure.
Jake just walking this motherfucker with the wrench. You know what I'm saying?
The wrong position.
Calm down, brothers. Be in the spirit, because ultimately these guys are gonna snare themselves. That's what's happening to the left hand. Your own mouth is condemning you. Here it is. These guys were all about the law. Okay, but when now we getting into the law, you see these guys are like, that's too much for me, or that on. The Lord said get bitter herbs to reprobate. And what was the purpose of the herb? Somebody look it up. What was the purpose of the bitter herb? Ain't it in the scriptures too? Yeah. Where he talks about in it somewhere. Yeah, get that.
Yeah, I would say eventually y'all fringes is gonna start falling off. Every time y'all do some BS, one fringe is gonna fall off.
And they doing all of that madness with the fringes on.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the Lord has always sent his prophets to correct mindsets, because Israel is simple. And you got these little ass kids who follow the goddamn garbage pail kid now running around with his doctrine, trying to act like, no, y'all are still guilty of all of those false doctrines that you learned and taught and have not corrected under that guy.
Right.
The dildo is just another aspect of the whole story. Really, it's y'all doctrine.
Yep. That's it. Like we were saying earlier, we didn't have to hear none of that. you can still get on him because of the doctrine's sake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All that carnal, physical stuff, that ain't got to look. We didn't need to know all that to know that he going off in the doctrine.
Yep.
We correct the doctrine.
Right. So John had to eat the bitter, man. Eat this roll is what was told to Ezekiel. So we got to eat it. And the Apostle Tahar brought out a great point. The fact that they don't want to accept that we have a law in the Bible on how to handle grape, which grape just means to seize. Can somebody look up bride kidnapping? All right, let's get that history real quick, because ultimately that's all that is. When you go back to the ancient world,
I would say even Alazar said it when he was up in front of the apostles. He said, "Look, when people hear that word grape, they automatically start thinking of an episode of Law and Order SVU." You know, and he even put it out there. That ain't what that's talking about.
he knows
You
that
see?
ain't what we saying. That's what he's saying. He didn't really, so say, admit that he agreed with the doctrine, but he agreed.
He showed that he understood.
He showed that he understood what we're saying. And at the end of the day, if you're a judge, a teacher of the law in Israel, these are things that you should be real well versed in. We're a nation of ultimately priests. We're a holy priesthood now. We don't have to go to the temple. So the men of the Lord should be versed in the understanding of the Torah, right? But we understand it from the perspective of it all led to Yahweh Shai. But there's particular things that's in the law that don't coincide with how you were raised in this bitter captivity. So there's particular things that you become accustomed to that in the ancient world are not right. You see what I'm saying? And that's an aspect of the bitterness of this truth. Two is coming into that ancient way and mindset and embracing it. Yeah, read that.
It says,
Because we're talking about the law in Deuteronomy 22, which deals with how to handle the case of rape. R-A-P-E. Sweep her off her feet. You sweep a woman off her feet, you take her away, okay, and you go do your thing with her. A month later, you come back. That was the honeymoon. There's an ancient custom where men would literally sweep women off their feet and seize them, take them, seize. That's what rape ultimately is, the seizing aspect.
That's just like you remember the old caveman cartoons where he clubbed the bitch over the head, then drag off.
Yeah. We ain't talking about that.
That's what I'm saying.
We ain't talking about a woman get hit upside the head, she bleeding. What man want to make love to or have sex with a woman that's bleeding out of her mouth with a black eye? Knife to her. No, that ain't what we talking about. But he saw something he liked in the ancient world. Go ahead.
bride kidnapping, also known as marriage by abduction or marriage by capture, is a practice with a long and varied history across different cultures and regions.
So so ultimately, when you deal with the Bible, it's an Eastern book. It's a whole nother culture. It's a whole nother vibration that we, so say, as Americans, haven't been associated with. Privy to. You got something?
Yeah, I put it in Chat GPT what is bride kidnapping, and it brought up all the Eastern cultures.
Okay, get tomato. Grunk is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it says
like Randy Moss, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
It does help.
Let me finish this real quick though. It says it involves the abduction of a woman or girl by a man, often with the intent of forcing her into marriage. While the practice has largely declined in modern times due to legal and social changes, its historical roots are deep and complex, shaped by cultural, economic, and patriarchal traditions.
So that was the environment in the ancient world. A man would see a woman, and whereas you walk up on her at the club, you know what I'm saying, you coming with me. You know, he would be, there was natural, in certain cases, it wasn't every day, man, just, it was a free-for-all. Like a woman walk outside, you know what I'm saying? There's a nigga running at her this way, a nigga running at her. No, but there were cases where a man would, this is I want this, and he would sweep her off her feet and go do his thing. And women had a whole nother reverence for men back then. So ultimately, if she wasn't married, or betrothed, it would just kind of be like, now her father would be mad, you know what I'm saying, because he wanted to give her away, but ultimately, the law gives us a way to settle the matter.
Deal with it because it happens.
Because it happens.
All right, every culture you go to, that instant happens.
Right.
So everybody had laws on how to deal with it. I know you still got yours, but I just want to draw one parallel with you really quick. All right, because it brought out how they handled it in Mesopotamia. It says 1754 BCE. Bride kidnapping was a common practice in Mesopotamia, where a man would abduct to marry her without consent of her family. This is the law on how to deal with it. It says the code of Hammurabi, I'm probably saying that wrong. It says if a man abducted a woman, he was required to pay a fine to her family and marry her.
That's in the scriptures. So these are ancient ways. Well, you like people, the Bible stole from that. No, these were things that happened in the ancient world. Certain things you're gonna see thou shalt not kill in a Egyptian laws. That don't mean the Bible stole from it, nigga. That's common. Nigga, don't steal, don't kill. You know what I'm saying? If you ruling an empire, there's penalties for particular things.
It was an Eastern way how you dealt with it. That's all.
So as a Jake growing up eating Otter Pops and popsicles, all right, and Choco Tacos and cereal and Fruit Loops, eating the cereal, you hear that and you know, oh, hell no, because all you know is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, okay, hanging with Mr. Cooper,
Or nigga get down on his
Martin.
knees. Yeah, nigga get down on his knees for a bit.
Right, the Steve Harvey Show, okay, Jerry Springer. This is what you've taken in as a natural way. Cops. So you applying the way that you were raised to an ancient custom. So then this shows the Lord that you're like, his way ain't right. So that's a character flaw with you guys. If you're a master in the law, you should be able to break down Deuteronomy 22 without any emotion. Grunt can't. Go ahead.
When you skip down, it talks about cultural and theological context. It says patriarchal norms. In biblical times, marriages were often arranged by families, and women's consent was not a primary concern.
Right.
Abduction-like scenarios in the Bible occur in exceptional circumstances.
Marriage back then was about the forwarding of the family first. It wasn't about love, romance. That can happen. Now, romance, that's a Roman way, but you can eventually get to know her and y'all become close. Some women you're not as close with, you know what I'm saying? But it's still the goal of the union, okay, is for you to be fruitful and multiply, and the legacy of the family, the name of the family continues. That was the primary role of sex in a union, in a marriage.
And that happens in general. That's why when men and women work together, over time, you might not initially even be attracted to her or vice versa, but over time you'll start to find endearing characteristics about the woman that you work with or that you're around. You know? Just like in ancient times, a woman might not want to be married to this man, but over time of being with him, she loves him.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially once they become one via sex. Because that's the consummation of the marriage was sex. When he broke the hymen, ultimately now he's put his spirit in her. He's basically put his spirit on her. I mean,
right.
Now he injected the Holy Spirit in her. No, but he put his vibration on it. They became one. Go ahead.
Yep. It says abduction-like scenarios in the Bible occur in exceptional circumstances, like war, tribal survival, rather than as a standard practice.
Right, it ain't something men just ran around doing.
But it's mentioned.
But it's mentioned because there's, just like harlots are mentioned. That wasn't the standard. You wouldn't want your daughter to be a harlot, okay? But there's certain situations that happen where a chick could be, rebellious and her family kicks her out. So how does she survive? She starts to sell her body. That's a practice that goes way back. This is nothing new. And it's mentioned in the Bible. Solomon's first judgment was between harlots. So people hear these things, they're like, oh my God, y'all are sick. But nigga, I'm just reading the Bible. After Judah's wife died, what was his immediate reaction? To go get a harlot. He went and looked for a streetwalker because that's how Samson, his wife died. What was his next move? He went and got a harlot. And it was so good, he picked up a gate and walked up a hill. I want some of that. Go ahead.
It says contrast with law. The Mosaic law, Deuteronomy 22, 28, 29, addresses cases where a man rapes an unbetrothed virgin and is then required to marry her and pay a bride price.
Right, so I don't understand, why can't Israelites get this? Why can't men who is basically saying that we, the law, understand that we're not saying go, but this is an ancient custom, the law mentions it, praise Yahweh Shema Shai. Wow, that's his judgment on it.
You said that was grump, right?
Yep.
They used the word grape in there. These niggas will tell you they ain't talking about that.
Yeah. It says this law aims to protect the woman's social standing in a patriarchal society rather than endorse abduction.
Right, because if she's just taken and now she's just out there, ain't nobody gonna want to marry her. That's gonna follow her. So the Lord says, well, the guy who did it, if she's not married or betrothed, you got to pay the father a dowry, and now this is your wife. You got to take care of her.
Yep.
And if men knew that was the penalty, they wouldn't do it in a lot of cases. You would be like, okay, let me think before I do this, because this is gonna start to have to come out of my pocket.
Right.
Eventually, this can, be so
This is really what I want to do.
Is this really what I want to do? You may have a guy who's balling out of control and it don't matter to him. But you got just a regular Jake, you know what I'm saying? He do that. That will fuck his whole situation up. Right. And if we're in war, we were commanded in certain cases to kill off the men, okay? And then the women who are, have not been married to a man, or you take them, okay, and they're raised up until they become of marriageable age, and then what? They can become a concubine, because there's a law on a concubine. Okay? We know in the book of Deuteronomy, the Lord commanded the Israelites not to make any marriages with the 7 Canaanite nations. But if you keep reading, okay, in Deuteronomy 21, he gives you a law on how to deal with the rest of the heathen that aren't of those 7 nations. And basically, she would have to shave her head. You took down a nation, right? And you see one of the captives, and you're like, she pretty. You would basically take her, right? She's crying, oh my God. Her husband died, okay, her family died. In some cases, you would take her, and for a whole month, she would have to shave her head, those nails, put away her idols. And there will come a point where you will go in unto her, and that's a marriage through bondage, which is a concubine. A concubine is a marriage usually through bondage, through the Hagar. You know what I'm saying? That's why she was called the bondwoman. Abraham's concubine Hagar, okay, was the bondwoman. So there's laws on how to handle all of these things, but when you hear it, it's unpleasing to your ear because Jeremiah 6:16. You got some more? I got it. That's the point. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths.
Right. Ask for the old paths. Okay. Go ahead.
Where is the good way?
Jeremiah 18:15.
And walk therein.
Right. Walk therein. Ask for the old path. Walk therein. And it's more of a mindset. You see, so because it's not like we just for the, you know what I'm saying? You know what? Go grab a woman up. It's just to kind of, because you got to understand the law, statutes, and commandments was the Lord reintroducing himself to that holy seed. From Adam, Seth, okay, Noah, Shem, our Faxad, okay, all the way up to our forefather Abraham, who had Isaac, Jacob, the 12 tribes. Then comes Moses. The Lord reintroduces himself to that seed through the law. So the law gives us an insight to what was given unto Adam, to how we were walking back then amongst these different nations that were going off in these different idols. What did the Lord give Adam to make him stand out and holy and separate? That's the laws written, and then giving us the 10 commandments. That's all it was. So when you read the law, you're getting the insight into how Yahweh Bashmiel Shai would judge a matter on earth. And Jake is ashamed of it. Go ahead.
It says, and ye shall find rest for your souls.
See?
But they said, we will not walk therein.
Right, because ultimately the simplicity in Yahweh Shai is not enough. The Lord's offensive to their, carnal and their upbringing, their McDonald's, French fries, Rock. Remember Rock?
Yep.
Jake's, Eleanor. Jake's stuck in that rock spirit, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that Theo Huxtable spirit. That ain't gonna work.
to tap into our culture to get a better connection
Yeah.
of the Bible, of this book, our book.
Yeah, that Eddie Winslow spirit. We ain't in that spirit. We put that off. Now we're here. Certain things we may take to, certain things we may like, but we know there's certain things that the scriptures, hey, it is what it is.
Right.
You can't digest the Lord's way with a modern mind.
Right. Western world culture.
You can't do it.
Mindset.
Hell nah, man.
Big Mac mindset.
Yeah, Big Mac.
Mac.
Jake is literally eating Big Mac still.
Yup.
Taco Bell. You know, brothers got their folly, you know what I'm saying? But that you gotta get it, you gotta stop.
Man.
Because you see where he got that guy.
She killing.
He did it on camera. Okay?
Prepare for the search of your fathers.
I
Like
got
Job.
that. I got that
Yep.
Jeremiah you asked
Yep.
for. This is Jeremiah 18 and 15. Right, it reads, because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity.
See, my people have forgot me. They burn incense to vanity. Now, what you burn incense to is what you're giving your attention to.
Yeah.
The burning of incense was associated with, reverencing your power. Trying to get commune with him. That's why we burnt the incense in the temple.
18.
Even with certain sacrifice, you would throw the incense in with the sacrifice. The Lord, he wants to smell that. That's him hearing you out, supping with you. Okay? Where we at?
Jeremiah 18 and 15 again from the top.
Yep.
Right, it reads, because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity.
Right.
And they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient past.
See, they caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient past. Now look at the word ancient. It caused you burning incense to these other ways and vibrations. Okay, it's causing you to stumble to where now you got a man of the Lord teaching it and you offended by it. What did Yahweh Shah say? If you're offended in me, somebody get that, in this perverse generation, the Son of Man shall be offended in you. You're openly admitting the white man's judgments are better than the Lord's.
It's Strong's H5768. It's Awalam. All right, it says long duration, antiquity.
Antiquity. What's antiquity mean?
That's
Ancient,
what-
basically. Old.
Ancient, yeah.
Go ahead.
Futurity, forever and ever, everlasting, evermore.
Read it again.
It's
This is the word for ancient. Go ahead.
Yep. It's Strong's H5768 is Awalam.
Right.
It says long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient world.
There you go. And when you look up the word Hebrew, Ibar, okay, it's from the past. Basically, the legacy from the time of Adam, all right, to that will eventually be continued through Seth, through Noah. Okay, that's why this line, eventually, there was a man named Hebrew, that marked that chosen lineage that will continue to name, okay, the teachings, the righteous way. You see? And at the time of Abraham, it made it a point to say Abram the Hebrew because he's of that lineage. It's of the past. That ancient way is now being restored to us in these latter days, man. And Jake don't like it. Okay?
Want to go back to John?
Revelation.
8.
Yeah. Good finish with that.
I got that Mark.
Well, read it again. We'll read it again.
I'm gonna read verse 10.
No, go ahead.
Yep. This is Mark 8 and 38. It says, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed.
They're ashamed of the Lord, so they add the world to their ministry.
I cross. I don't want to cross. I don't want to cross it.
People in the world think like you don't. The men of the Lord.
What y'all going into over there?
Fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
Pretty much times we coming in the serious times.
Right.
I just pulled up.
Oh, what? Don't start on this.
I was running a little bit late.
But they're going in, can't digest the ancient ways with a modern mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of our people problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the bitter herb was a problem.
Yeah.
That's why they can't get Deuteronomy 22.
Yeah.
That's why, just, hey, we wear actual garments. not t-shirts. They can't get all these things
Yeah.
that are associated with the ancient way because they're
Yep.
trying to digest it with a modern mindset. So I don't know if that brings up any precepts to you all.
It sure did.
I know that the prologue for Sirach kind of goes into that, I believe. Yeah, we can just flow from there.
Kind
And if you fear the Lord, you're gonna want to cling unto that way. Because get Jeremiah, you get that, get Jeremiah 18 and 15, and we're gonna look up the word ancient. We looked it up over there, but we didn't get through the whole definition of the word.
Okay.
So let's get through it.
Jeremiah 18 and 14.
15. That's the point is at 15, but we're gonna look up that word ancient.
Kind.
We already opened up, so you know. Let it loose.
I got a couple.
I got a couple. The word ancient it should be awalam.
People have forgotten me. They have burned incense to vanity.
And like he went into over there, when you burn incense, what would the priest was burning incense to acknowledge their power, their God.
Right. Yeah.
The priest was burning incense to acknowledge their power and their God.
Right.
But they're burning incense to vanity. They're burning incense to, I'm a Hebrew and a Hellcat. They're burning incense to trying to be, we talked about it in the car earlier. Jake want to be the Hebrew Tupac so bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
not for us here. They don't understand delayed gratification. You got it.
Yeah, that word vanity is sawah. All right. It says emptiness, falsehood, nothingness.
Ooh, emptiness. Now I'm gonna say this, man. Our people, even the ones that don't know the truth, right? They try to fill that hole that they feel with carnal things.
Yeah.
And then when you try to fill that hole that you're feeling with carnal things, it never gets full. You always need more. That's the flesh. The flesh always needs more. How you really fill that hole is with the Spirit, with the Lord's way. That's how you really come to an understanding of what makes you valuable.
Yep.
All right? You had something you want to say, didn't you?
I had a precept just backing you
Go
up.
ahead, go ahead.
So Isaiah 55 and 2, it says, "Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread?" You know, carnal things. Like you said, Hellcats, right? All these the snapbacks, right?
Snapbacks.
They got a million fitted
They
caps.
got the world-class fitted snapback collection
You know?
to cover that ball spot up.
You know?
Just save it low, man. Let it go. Let that
Right.
pony, let that Steven Seagal ponytail go.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Isaiah 55 and 2, it says, "Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not?"
Yeah, anything that you gain here, like it talks about in Matthew the 6th chapter. Your riches that you get here on this side, moth and rust is gonna corrupt them. It can be taken away. It can be manipulated.
Yep.
It could pull you away from the Father when you should be storing up your riches in the kingdom of heaven, right? You got it, brother.
The last part of the verse, it says, "Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness."
You got it, brother. Go ahead.
You know, so, and that's the hearken diligently unto me. That's been fulfilled in the form of the elders and apostles. They rebuke them, trying to correct individuals, but they refuse to hearken. So guess what? You're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be filled, and that's just going to lead to that cycle perpetuating itself. You know, the carnal is not. You're never going to be satisfied with that. Scriptures talk about that. You know, the eyes are never satisfied.
I had that.
You know,
Rest of the eyes, yeah, man.
so you ain't gonna get it. You know, and that actually lays back because I heard y'all too. I was listening on the way up. Y'all are talking about the ability to receive correction.
Yes.
You know,
Woo! They
so-
act and you know, we always go into it. A lot of Jake, they have a problem receiving correction from male figures because they was raised by their mamas, right? We're under the curses. So whenever they see a man stand up and be a man, it's so foreign to them, it rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And when you come into this truth, it is mandatory. It's a big part of our walk that you learn how to be corrected by men of the Lord. You're going to be rebuked by the Lord through his men. You're going to be corrected. You're going to be told, hey, don't do this. You should do this. Focus on it. You're going to get that instruction. And if you're still in that nigga woman spirit, you're not going to get the fullness of this truth. You're not going to be able to last long and grow and get closer to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai if that's a hiccup within you. Okay, you had something, brother.
Con, this is Ecclesiastes 6 and 9 in the NLT. It says, enjoy what you have rather than desiring what you don't have. Just dreaming about nice things is meaningless, like chasing the wind.
Woo, you got it.
You know, and everybody is out here, they chasing this American dream, trying to grasp at something that is not obtainable, man. It's not rest ultimately. Jake was bought here, you know, through cargo slave ships to serve captivity. You know, and ultimately trying to get something when your people ain't got nothing set up here, it's meaningless. You know, and this is all going to perish according to 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter or the 3rd chapter. You know, this is all going to burn.
Dissolved? Yeah.
It's all going to be dissolved. So everything here is vanity. But what we do have right here is the you know, our eyes upon Yahweh Shai and this blessing of this faith, man, this ministry.
That's it, man. Could we get that word back in Jeremiah 18 and 15, ancient? Because look, the men of the Lord, the elect, we're ahead of the curve because we understand this standard that the Lord has set, this ancient way, it's not going anywhere. Okay? You got it.
Okay. Jeremiah 18 and 15. Because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths.
So, yeah, that's how you end up eating lettuce on the Passover when you're supposed to have a bitter herb because it's supposed to make you uncomfortable, and you're supposed to correlate that uncomfortability with the captivity that we're in. Because you're supposed to remember, like, damn, it's supposed to make you long to get out of this place, not be comfortable. The Passover isn't about being comfortable. It's not a lamb dinner. It's not an Israelite party. It's not a line dance party. It's a solemn assembly. You understand? Can we get that word? And I want you to get that definition at the bottom.
Okay. That word ancient is awalam. It says long duration, antiquity.
Antiquity means ancient, but just the definition at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
The third.
Everlasting, indefinite, or unending. Unending future. Slack.
Yeah, unending future. So this way, this ancient way, is going to be unending. When the kingdom of heaven is established, it's always going to be the way. So I said the elect of the nation of Israel, we're ahead of the curve because we're trying our best to rehearse the righteous acts and live by that standard that's always going to be. You see? And you know you're an Israelite, you're supposed to be on that vibe. You're supposed to be on that tip. But it's a big portion of people that know they're Israelites and they're not in this mindset. Okay? So they're going to perish with the 2/3 of the people that don't know a damn thing. You had something.
Yep, and y'all can speak on it if you want to. This is Job chapter 8 and verse 8 in the NLT. It says, just ask the previous generation. Pay attention to the experience of our ancestors.
Woo.
For we were born but yesterday and know nothing. Our days on the earth are as fleeting as a shadow.
Now, you have guys who start up these camps, start these big congregations, and they'll get a following. But they have this core within them to adhere to the men that have already been laboring. To soak in from the experience of the men that have been before them and say, hey, we did that already. This is how it's going to work out in the end. Yep. It may seem good at this, but you shouldn't be on all those talk shows. You shouldn't be going on people's platform where they can say, okay, you got 2 minutes on the rebuttal.
Yeah.
You got 2 more minutes to rebuttal the rebuttal. They can cut your mic off. No, the scriptures say, hey, chief places of concourse, the highways and hedges, we've been given our arena in which to teach. Can't nobody come out here and cut our mic off. We don't got a time limit to expound on a concept so that somebody could be saved.
Right.
So our apostle said, hey, Apostle Tar, he went on the Shirley show back in the day. He had a lot of times where he could speak. This ain't the arena where the prophet's supposed to be. So the men of the Lord get up, man, why are you going on those podcasts? Especially with people, Adam 22, he's getting paid for his wife to get plowed out. And then when you come to find out, that spirit jumped on your ass.
Yep. Likewise. Yep.
You know?
Yep, there's one more verse on this. Job chapter 8 and verse 10 in the NLT. It says, but those who came before us will teach you. They will teach you the wisdom of old. And that's the point right there. You know, we're leaning on the experience not only of our elders, but that's why the scriptures say, for the things aforetime are written for our learning.
That's what we get.
You know, those old paths that's part of the keys to salvation, man. Understanding the old paths, embracing them, applying them. Now, you know, obviously you use wisdom. You know, we're still out here in Babylon the Great.
That's it.
But guess what, man? There's a reason why the Lord said all these things. He didn't say all these things for you just to ignore them and do whatever the hell you want to do, man.
That's right. All right, now let's get that. And I want us to get up 1 Maccabees 2 and 50, but we're going to jump through it. Because there's a reoccurring theme. When you talk about the things written aforetime, the examples that our forefathers gave us, right? There's a reoccurring theme. There's a reoccurring element that's involved with that aforetime. You got it, brother.
Romans chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Might have hope. All right, the things written aforetime is a part of that full armor of God. We got the playbook, we got the scouting report on the adversary and how they're gonna come at us. We got the scouting report, okay? So we know how to adjust, okay? I remember Daniel was put in a similar situation like this. I remember Joseph was put in a similar situation like this, all right? I have experience, I have all these different, you know, scout reports on how this devil moves, how the enemy moves, and I can adjust on the fly because I've ingrained the scriptures, the word of God into my being. You see what I'm saying? But you guys, people that know they're Israelites and they're not being one, so they're not in that mindset. You got it.
This is 1 Maccabees 2 and 50, and if I may just say this, because, you know, brothers, you know, if you play sports, you play for a coach, especially a decent one, like Andy Reid, for example, they say what sets him apart from other coaches is he watches film from football back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So he's pulling plays that these other coaches ain't looking at. He's going into the history, you know. But just want to bring that out. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 50. It says, "Now therefore, my sons."
The Maccabees, Judas Maccabees, he's giving a pep. This is like before you go out on the field, your coach give you that pep talk. This is what's going on. He's speaking to us as the pregame speech. There we go. Not the water, brother. You got it.
1 Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 50. It says, "Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers."
Give your life for the standard that the Lord has placed on us. Because ultimately, what he's going to expound on as he goes through the examples of our forefathers, that it always leads to redemption, it leads to life, it leads to us winning. The Lord gave us the playbook on how to win, and the Lord is not a man that he should lie. You uphold this standard, you are going to win. Okay? You got it, brother.
Verse 51, it says, "Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
Woo.
So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name."
Read a couple of those examples of our forefathers, and then jump down to verse 61.
Con. I'm going to start with the next verse because it mentions Abraham,
Yeah.
which is very important to our walk because essentially he was a foreshadowing to the Gentiles coming in.
That's it.
You know, us being those Israelite foreigners, those Gentiles that the New Testament speaks about. This is 1 Maccabees 2 and 52. It says, "Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him righteousness." And then I'm gonna jump down 56. It says, "Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom." You know, and these are all examples, man. These are all accounts that you should go and read.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Shalom, brother. Yeah. Shalom. Yeah, good to see you, bro.
Are they down there in the corner, Taj, them, the officers?
I can't see that. I'm sorry, brother.
They went over there.
Okay, yeah.
come.
Elder Apostle Ram, I want to know.
Oh, it might be down there, yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to rock with us, it's cool. If you wherever you want to go, you go.
I'm just going to tell him that you're down there.
Okay, come.
I'm going to read one more and then I'm going to jump down to 61.
Okay, come.
Verse 58, it says, "Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven." And that's talking about Elijah the prophet.
Now I want to draw a point to you. All these examples, all these men, they escaped situations that, looking with the eyes on your face, would seemingly be impossible to get out of. All right? Over here at the Great Millstone, we push faith heavy. We push the resurrection heavy. Because when you're in that mind space, when you're on that faith level to believe that, you're able to see with your spiritual eye and not the eyes on your face. These groups, they're not exercising their spirit to see with that spiritual eye. They're only looking at things with the eyes on their face. So they're going to lose because you got to see with a spiritual eye to be delivered out of these impossible situations. And the Lord promised us that we're going to be put in an impossible situation.
Yeah.
So what mind frame are you in? You got it, unless you had something.
I did have something.
Have something real quick.
This is James chapter 5, verse 10. It says, "Take my brethren the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering, affliction, and patience." You know, and that's what a lot of the men, you know, back then they were, an example for suffering, affliction, and of patience, you know. Making sure that, you know, this whole roll is digested. All right, because this word is filled with lamentation, mournings, and woes, you know. And that's what you get when you take part in eating the bitters. All right, you can't neglect that portion of this ministry, man, because it's a very important portion, especially on a day like the Passover where our Lord died. You know, he was crucified, and you go into that account, man. That walk was it was a very heavy time, man. You know,
man. The Lord had to be on a heavy level. He had to be purpose minded. He was thinking about the big picture, not that moment. He could have been like, "Oh, these niggas spit on me,"
yeah.
and we wouldn't have no bridge way back.
Man.
You understand? You got it, brother.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 61, it says, "And thus consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms."
We don't have to fear the words of a sinful man. Who's the man of sin? All right? Esau. Who's the man of prediction? Esau, Edom. We don't have to fear his words. We don't have to fear what he has planned to do to us because we got the playbook on how to overcome this man.
Yep.
The scriptures read verse 61 again.
First Maccabees.
This mic cutting that shit out. You good?
Okay, come on. First Maccabees 2 and 61, it says, "And thus consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome."
So you can't lose if you have faith. You can't lose if you trust Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Is not the question posed in the scriptures? When the Son of Man returns, will he find faith upon the earth? I'm paraphrasing. That's telling you that's the key to victory. But when this devil start putting the squeeze on, when the demonization comes, and it's not cute anymore to be an Israelite, the t-shirts ain't so cute no more.
Yep.
Are you gonna be in the spirit to trust Yahweh Shem Yahweh through all of that and understand that you're gonna win regardless of what it's looking like with the eyes on your face? Oh, are they prepared for that? Are they in that mindset? We talk about Jacob's trouble. Somebody put a comment on LD Yashawamba's comment board the other day. Y'all talk about Jacob's trouble so much, y'all go manifest it. Well, duh, nigga.
That's what we doing. Yeah.
That's what we do. And you have to. That has to happen before we win.
Yeah.
Are you not reading the script? What? Okay.
So what about then shall the world, this word be preached, and then shall the end come? You know, we fulfilling that prophecy. This word has to be preached, and in that time of Jacob's trouble, of course. So you're only a example of us fulfilling prophecy, man. But I had that Hebrews.
Come on, you got it.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen."
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think, and I don't watch these other groups enough, but I never heard any of them read Hebrews 11 and 1. Yeah. Have you? Have you, think about it?
Nah.
Over the years, you watch a video, what do you niggas talk about? I ain't never heard them bring out Hebrews 11 and 1. Faith is not a part of what they're pushing.
And if they do mention it, they're not meditating on it. They're not expounding on it.
Yeah.
Like we bring it out and then we link it up with various scenarios and examples through the scriptures and we chew on it. You know, they don't do that. And that, man, that's getting ready to be revealed. Because if you have not been doing that, like the brother's been saying, you have no chance of making it through Jacob's trouble.
You can't lose. It's like you playing you in a hockey game, but your team don't got no sticks. You don't got
Come on.
You just out there can't even play.
Skating.
Right. You just out there ice skating. Other team knocking goals in.
Yeah.
Y'all don't got no sticks. Y'all don't got the armor of God. Y'all don't got the name. Y'all don't understand prophecy. Y'all don't understand that, hey man, without faith, don't none of this matter. That's why when topics come up for these other groups that requires faith, right? They try to sidestep it. Oh, the Hebrews, that ain't, Hebrews ain't the word, Paul writing ain't. If it's things that require faith involved in a topic, they'll omit it.
Right.
They make up they tap dance around the 100% truth to justify it. You see? You got this, brother. Hold this mic for me.
Okay.
And just kind of point it towards me.
There's a little bit more. It says, I'm gonna read Hebrews 11:1 again. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High. And this new world is being framed by the word of the Most High too. This word which is ultimately put forth as Yahweh Shah. But we even speak these words in his likeness as well, man. They represent him as well. All right. It says, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. All right. And it's by this whole ministry is by faith. You know how they used to call us faith-based Israelites. Well, that's a cut on themselves, man. Because this whole ministry is a ministry of faith. All right, believing that Yahweh Shah rose from the dead, believing that this work and this ministry is going to be able to deliver us. It's all through faith, man.
Yeah, man. That's the only way we make it out of here, because the Lord's going to put all of us in situations to where we're going to have to walk by faith and not by sight. Why is this brought up in the scriptures? Is it just there for shits and giggles? No, it's a characteristic that you have to acquire. Now, how do you acquire faith? Okay, get faith coming by. I'm drawing a blank. Where's that? Faith coming by here. Yeah. Let's get that. Okay.
I had something real quick.
Khan, go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 9:7. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. And that's how we achieve, Yahweh Shah coming forth and we being an acceptable sacrifice, because his name means, he is salvation. And it says, and everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, and shall be preserved from the said perils, and see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Like we often go into, man, this message is only for the elect, those that have been sanctified from the beginning, and that's going to be sanctified, made through that faith that they would have, internal, faith can't be bought, man. It's something that is just given,
All right, you got that precept?
Kind.
Yeah. Well, let's read about how do you acquire faith, because faith isn't something that's tangible that people can see. It's something that's within a person, right, and they exhibit it through their doings, man. That's why faith and works, they go hand in hand. Right. If somebody truly believes, they're gonna abide by that way that the Lord has that standard that He's put over us. Yep. All right, to the best of their ability. You see?
Yep.
You got it, brother.
That precept is in Romans 10:17. Cool if I start at 14?
Cool, go ahead.
Romans 10:14, it says, how then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? Mm-hmm. And how shall they hear without a preacher?
And you know what rubs me the wrong way when I hear that precept? When Alazar went on all them podcasts, he didn't mention Yahweh Shah.
Right.
Yeah, people know he was an Israelite, but why was there no mention of Yahweh Shah? Again, a lot of these groups, they're in the same spirit the nigga woman in. Yeah. And what do I mean when I say that? It's a famous catchphrase amongst especially the Judite women. They'll say, what, brothers? I don't need no man.
Yeah.
And a lot of these groups, they're in the I don't need no man spirit because they don't acknowledge Yahweh Shah. He's our covering. He's our man. We're likened unto the bridegroom's woman, right? Mm-hmm. That's our covering. That's our man. But there's a huge lack of acknowledgement of our covering. Yep. And the Spirit isn't dealing with somebody when they don't acknowledge Yahweh Shah. That is the biggest red flag in our walk, man. You got it, brother.
Romans 10 and 15, it says, and how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. You know, and that's the prophets in these times. All right, a preacher is a prophet. You know, and what are the scriptures called prophets? Seers. All right, the prophets have the ability through faith, because we just read it, Hebrews 11 and 1. The prophets have the faith that allows them to see and tap into the spirit of prophecy.
That's it.
This is verse 16.
Ooh, get Revelation 19 and 10. Y'all know what's up. Because if you truly, to have the spirit of prophecy, for it to really be on you, you gotta also, you're gonna be in the spirit of Yahweh Shah. Which if you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shah, that means you're acknowledging him. Just real quick, Revelation 19:10.
I got it.
You got it.
It's Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant,
Right.
and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shah. Worship Yahweh Shah, for the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy.
So prophecy and acknowledging Yahweh Shah the way you ought to, like the scripture say in Psalms 2, kiss the Son lest he be angry.
Right.
You have to be in the spirit of acknowledging Yahweh Shah to be in the spirit of prophecy. And if you're not in the spirit of prophecy, how could you call yourself a prophet? You guys are just niggas with fringes on.
Yep.
You got it.
Yep.
More on it? God, it says,
No, that was it on that,
Okay,
right?
that was it.
Yeah, we're going to go back to that.
God, Romans chapter 10 and verse 16, it says, but they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, talking about Isaiah, Lord, who have believed our report.
That's it.
So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High.
Faith cometh by hearing, and then hearing the word of the Most High. Is it the word of the Most High to say, oh, Paul's writings are, this is not the word of God? Is what? You got. They're not grasping the fullness of the book. Their God is what? Their own belly, like the scriptures say.
Yep.
So in that case, you get guys who said, oh, horseradish is permissible, but it's nasty. I'm gonna eat lettuce, romaine lettuce. You a bitch ass nigga, man.
yeah, the Lord don't want a man like that.
Yeah. Our whole walk. Get Sirach 2 and you know what it is.
Yep,
Sirach 2. I want verse 5, but you can start at the top.
Yep.
There's particular characteristics that the Lord needs us to have. We got to be men that are able to push through adversity, because adversity is promised to us. You got it, brother.
This is Luke, just real quick. Luke 7 and 23. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. You know, and a lot of these dudes are offended at prophecy. You know, not understanding that their bitterness is gonna come wherever you like it or not. Whatever your taste bud, you know, whatever the fuck it is, man. You're gonna have to eat and drink of this cup. All right, that's what Yahweh Shah told the sons of thunder, man. You indeed gonna drink of this cup and you take of this plow, which is not. It's not a nice. It's not a sweet cup. It's a cup of dregs, man. Yeah. So you know, if you offended in that, and it shows on a symbolic level of such as taking the romaine lettuce instead of the horseradish, you know, and taking the easy way. Well, hey, you might have just made your walk just that much harder, man.
Man. And then again, we was talking about prophecy earlier. Do you see these other groups really diving into prophecy the way they ought to?
Nah.
We're supposed to be warning people of the terror that's about to overtake the earth.
Right.
The scriptures say, by the terror of the Lord, we persuade men.
Right. I got, matter of fact, just to speak on what you were saying here, brother, this is Hebrews 4 and 2, because we were talking about how, you know, the faith coming by hearing, right? So this is Hebrews 4 and 2. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them. Here's the point: not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. You see, because the priest brought out, you know, faith comes by hearing the word. All right, but ultimately that faith isn't going to grow root in that spirit.
Yeah.
All right, if they don't have the faith in the first place.
Yeah.
Ephesians 2 and 8 lets it be known faith is a gift, man. So we are out here, we are as worms, man. Everything that we get and we have is from Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Us standing here on our feet right now, man. entering the gates of the nobles, pointing the finger. That's Yahushua in us, man.
Yep. And if I may lay back on that beautiful point that he just made, it said, matter of fact, could you read the last verse one more time, Baba Kashat?
Khan, this is Hebrews 4:2. For unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them.
Right, the word preached did not profit them. Why? Because they didn't have the faith. That's why they start flipping the word and using the word as a tool to take advantage of their congregations.
Right.
So it's not profiting them. Right. So in turn, they're gonna try to make a profit off the congregation.
Ooh. So when they saw this truth, they saw a way to be the man.
Yeah.
When the elect see the truth,
yep,
they see the pathway to healing.
Right.
Man. Yep.
That's the difference.
Beautiful point.
Somebody just said that healing in his wings.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, Malachi 4? Am I tripping?
I got it. This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son...
Wait, unto you that what? Read that again, unto you that... What?
Malachi 4 and 2, it says, but unto you that fear my name...
We don't know what his name is. We're going to get that when he come back.
Right.
Yep.
You're not even in the race. Go ahead.
Malachi 4 and 2, it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings.
With healing in his wings. Now, the elect are going to be delivered, but even before that, we always talk about how the kingdom of heaven starts in the minds of the elect.
Right.
So that healing is already starting to happen in the hopeful elect. Because that fearing of the name and of the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua leads you to what? Leads you to change.
Yep.
You're quickened.
Yep.
You did start to consider, like, are the things I'm doing on a regular basis, day to day, is it offending the Lord?
Right.
You're reading to find, okay, what does the Lord actually want? What's pleasing to him? You're not just out there winging it.
Right.
You got a lot of guys with fringes on their t-shirts, bro, and they're just winging it.
Right.
Without any regard for if they're offending the Lord. When you make merchandise of the congregation, you're offending the Lord.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But mind you, this guy out here pimping his wife out to people, but you charging people $500 for marriage counseling.
My goodness.
You don't think you're offending the Lord when you do that?
Come on,
like,
man.
what are you thinking about?
Yeah.
So that's people's problem. They don't understand. Before when anybody gets judged, anybody's put to death, who does it? The Lord sanctions everything.
That's right.
In the church, they'll tell you, "Oh, that ain't nothing but the devil." Go read the book of Job. Before Satan was able to do anything, who did he have to get permission from first? The Most High. So when judgment falls upon a person, that's the Lord doing that.
Beautiful.
And you had all these Israelites saying, "Oh, we gotta fast." Thousands of people got online, was like, "Hey, we gotta fast for this brother to see." No, the Lord is judging him.
Right.
Y'all don't know judgment when you see it.
Nope.
The Lord had to okay that first. There's a difference between somebody being tested and somebody being judged.
Right.
Yep.
You got it. Wherever we was at, you got it.
Did you have something?
No, that was
I was going to bring out real. Oh no,
Okay,
you got something. Go ahead.
Whoever go first, it don't matter.
Go ahead,
This
Malak.
Isaiah 45 and 7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things.
So when you read that and you find out, oh, the Lord sanctions all the evil, get Amos 3 and 6.
Let's go.
When you read that and you find out, oh, the Lord sanctions all the bad things that happens, what does that inspire in you? Because Jack could go get it big on his chest. I only fear God.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But they don't understand, no, you really should fear him, because if anything happens, he's the one that's okaying it. If people understood that, they would move differently. Okay? People in the church, I keep God first, but they're not doing anything he said to do. They don't fear him. The scriptures say the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom.
Right.
Okay? Right. Go ahead. You got that Amos 3 and 6 real quick, and then we get yours.
I got that.
Brother.
Yep. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
In the ancient world, cities would be gated, and the watchmen, if an enemy was attacking them, they would blow the trumpet to warn the citizens, hey, we're under attack.
Right.
Right? So read that again, got it?
Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and the Lord have not done it?
Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord have not done it? In times past, people understood when bad things happen, that the Lord did it. They we must be doing something wrong. Your pops come in the room, he busting the room, he angry. You clearly did something you wasn't supposed to do.
Right.
Right? When you're in your father's house, you follow your father's what?
Rules.
His rules.
Yep.
We're in our father's house, and people are just being badass kids. So in return, what's gonna happen? They're gonna get a whooping.
Yep.
And the Lord's whoopings are beyond what we could fathom with our little human brains.
Right.
Okay?
Well, we see what he did to his own son.
What is it to his own son?
Yeah, and, you know, and one of those lashings that our Lord took in today's modern time, it would take this is what they speculate.
Right.
They say it would take up to 22 stitches to just take one of those lashings.
It was ripping him open.
Yeah, it bring 2 inches of muscle fibers out onto your side, just laying out, allegedly.
His mama couldn't recognize him.
Yeah.
And the mental turmoil that Yahweh Shah went through, Yahweh Shah is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. In the Paleo tongue, his name is Yahweh Shah, which means he is the deliverer. Knowing that's his name, you can see why people probably looked at him kind of funny.
Right.
Like, nigga, who are you?
Right.
All right? That's why they looked at him that way. But they say, I forgot the name of the medical term, when your nervous system is about to break, you'll start to bleed through your sweat.
Oh,
You know the water, brother.
Yeah, the water, brother.
All right, thank you. That means thank you.
No, hydrosis.
Hydrosis, okay. And somebody can look it up on the comment board for us, you know, just to help us out. But he was, you know, he was going through it.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know
hydrosis.
what I mean?
Hydrosis is also known as hyperhidrosis, as a condition characterized by excessive sweating that is not related to physical activity or heat. Or no, wait.
Now I remember when I was a kid and I was about to get a whooping.
Yep.
My booty would be sweating. Your stomach all fucking. You like, God damn. Like,
Stomach's in knots.
But Yahweh Shah had to be that Passover lamb for us because he got that whooping on all our behalf. He got that whooping so that we can still be saved.
Right.
I'm sorry. It was hydrosis is sweating. It's excessive sweat. Hemahydrosis.
That's what it was.
Hemahydrosis is where the blood that you sweat is through the skin.
Often appearing as blood-tinged sweat, and it's thought to be related to extreme stress or anxiety. He was like, I know I'm about to this. Not only am I getting this whooping for the nation of Israel, but for things I did in times past.
Yeah.
He knew that he was about to, but he did that. Big bro did that on our behalf so that we can have an avenue to partake in the blessing that's coming. But again, you got a lot of people who know the Israelites. They don't acknowledge him. You don't. Without him, we don't even have a avenue to win. So that's how you know the spirit isn't dealing with a man, when they don't acknowledge what he did for us.
Man, that's
And the Father set him up to do that. That was his way of showing mercy to us.
That's crazy. That was that Isaiah 53:10 says, it pleased the Lord to bruise him.
Right.
It pleased the Heavenly Father to see Yahweh Shah, his son, go through that. But Jake wanted to say only God can judge me.
That's crazy. And it pleased him because the back end of it, he knows, okay, him getting bruised is going to result in the kingdom of heaven being established on earth, and all of the family what flourishing, everlasting life. This is going to lead to something good. But our people, you can't come to them with a plan that requires delayed gratification.
Right.
You come to Jake.
Right.
You come to our people with a 5-year plan. They're gonna like, I ain't trying to hear that.
Instant gratification.
They need it now.
Yep.
But who also in the scriptures is in that spirit?
Esau.
Right. And sold his birthright because he couldn't miss a meal. All right. Somebody was reading something. Yeah.
I was gonna grab this Isaiah 5, Isaiah 1 and 5, 5 and 6. It says, "Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint."
You can speak on it if you want to.
Come on. So this is ultimately this Jake. That's why in the scriptures the Lord calls us a stiff-necked people. So Lord is like, why do you continually invite punishment? I'm only gonna have to continue to keep whooping your ass, man. This is why missiles are needed. This is why slavery was needed. As profound as a understand the history. It was needed, man. It was needed. And after all the shit we went through, and all the Yahweh Shah went through for us to still be here looking Jake today. You want to say it wasn't necessary? This is Isaiah 1 and 6. From the sole of thy foot even to
mic, so we got to speak up that win, brothers. Yeah.
Isaiah 58:1. Can you read that verse again? From the top or from the sixth one? It's Isaiah 1:6, and it reads, "From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it." Yeah. And that's the result of the curses. Our people are sick in the head.
Yes.
And we're not exempt from that. That's why it's so important to work in the word is the beginning of the healing process. It's the beginning of the healing process. And that can't be understated. And then more importantly, it starts with Yahushua. What he did is what's allowing this right here to take place. This word, don't underestimate the power of this word.
We've been called, not chosen.
Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6, it says, "For unto us a child is born."
Who's the child? Who was the child? What was the prophet's God's name? He saw the star.
Wise men. Yeah, they just call them three wise men.
It's another God of that. He got this seed. When that's all set from the rising and falling.
Yeah,
Right? Yahweh shines that sun. Just want to bring that up.
Okay.
Isaiah 96 says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder."
Government world order. They're doing it in wickedness, but the scriptures talk about that in righteousness. The kingdom of heaven is a one world government, or all the nations have to adhere to the Lord's way.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
Modern day Tower of Babel, like how they did this. They had that one government.
Shalom,
back then.
sister, brother, shalom.
And it was at the head of this. This is modern day Babylon again. America's at the head of that. It's still up there at the forefront of wickedness and degeneracy in this time.
They're the main corporation. They're the main corporation that is forward. They're blind philosophy. Their way of life, their way to the people. That's why America has embassies in every nation on the earth. Okay, that's why a couple years ago, Kamala Harris went over to some countries. She went as one of them like, yeah, and she was like, if you guys don't accept gay marriage, we're gonna have to do sanctions. They're forwarding evil. Like you gotta get down with how we do it. What you doing? So they're the main corporation that forward evil. So brother's right. This is the epicenter of wickedness.
Isaiah 9 and 6, right? It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder." And when you go into that word government, a word that comes up is empire. And I just wanted to get this real quick, that's okay. The etymology of the word empire, it says territory subject to an emperor's rule. In general, a realm or dominion, an imperial power.
Then we're gonna read the Michael 4. This man is transgressing by mind. This is talking about the actual money trait, the Yahweh, right? This is talking about the philosophies of a man. The scriptures talk about how the people, they stumble without the strong drink. They're drunk on a way of life that's contrary to the Lord's way. That's Isaiah 29. You can get it real quick, back that up.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Stay yourselves and wonder. Cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink.
Okay, so this one here is talking about the literal wine. This is talking about the philosophy, this way of life, this American dream that people are drunk on. They don't realize it's spiritually destroying them. Okay? Okay, God says.
For the Lord hath poured upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes. The prophets and the rulers, the seers, hath he covered.
Yeah, so people come across the word because they're so entrenched in that slumber, that way of life with this devilish spirits. They hear these words, it doesn't resonate with their spirit. They can't really grasp it. It just sounds like some little awesome guy. But they don't realize, though, these are the men that are advocating for the kingdom of heaven to be upon earth. Right? New rulership over the earth. This looks small, right? To somebody looking with the eyes on their face. But the Lord is supposed to read these scriptures, like we talked about earlier, and train you up to look at your spiritual eyes, to see things through his lens. The Lord chose David, he didn't necessarily look at the earth. But our people, they have to walk us that way. And that's a good proximity to the as a prophet, as a man of the Lord, why are you on what company? You have what do you have in common? Why are you here? The Lord gave us our reading books to teach me. You gotta go on the platform. And they
Also, because he transgresseth my wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Now, talk about America, this is not an embassy. They have all over the world. Yeah, they go into every nation. They mix up with any people that don't want to start a revolution in their country. They'll send, like how they did in the Middle East. Really, it's Western Asia. They call it the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's a but
That goes back to
yeah, I'm gonna say Middle East for people that know what I'm talking about. But in the Middle East, they set up feminism, right, to start to push that line in that part of the world. This man is diabolical. You understand? But he forces that mindset on all the people, and when he forces that mindset on the people, now they're able to be manipulated and controlled. He can herd all the people to himself, right, and for his agenda. There's no say that in the verse.
right. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death.
The scriptures call it the Lord of wickedness. All right, and hell and heaven are living conditions. You got our people. We're under the curse right now. We're under the chapter. We're living in our hell right now. This is a hellish condition to live under. Right? Saying he enlarges his desire as hellish conditions. Follow this man wherever you go.
Galatians 6 and 3 verse.
That's it.
Right? That's it. When you enlarge something, what does that mean? You want to spread it out. Yes, spread it out. Psalms 116 and verse 3, just backing up the brother's point. It says, the sorrows of death passed me, and the pains of hell gat hold upon me. I found trouble and sorrows. And when you read the scriptures, you'll see hell like in a condition, right, right? Especially when you read the Psalms.
Roman Catholics, they came up with that idea of hell is the place you burn and go to. That's not how life and death works. We're going off on a tangent. Somebody gets the rock. I mean, Ecclesiastes. We're going to get back to it. Ecclesiastes 29
I get the 16. All right, where you at?
Let's go over how life and death works. 29.
This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. It says, the thing that hath been is that which shall be.
Keep this in mind. The thing that hath been is that which shall be. Go on.
And that which is done is that which shall be
Peace to
done.
her, peace itself. Go on.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
No new thing under the sun. Question I have for the audience: are you new? Let's read. Let's get the answer. I got my little girl. You know they watch the Blues too. And they'll ask the question. Go ahead.
Let's go. This is Ecclesiastes 6:10. That which has been the thing.
All right, that which hath been. Read that one more time. The beginning of that verse.
Get back there.
It says, the thing that hath been.
The thing that hath been is that which shall be. That's what it's saying. What is the thing that hath been? What is that?
That is that which has been. It's named already, and it is known that it is man.
Man. Okay? You are a spirit. You can't burn a spirit. You come back in the flesh time and time again. And you live out your conditions upon the earth. Get it from there.
So Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 16, and it reads, it says that moreover I saw under the sun.
What's under the sun? I wish I had your graphic. What's under the sun though? You got a note guy?
The earth.
Yeah, the earth, man. The earth is under the sun. You got it.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 16, and moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgments,
thinking wrong. Go ahead.
John chapter 9 and verse 1, it says, and as it says Jesus will be known as Yahweh Shah.
The letter J was invented in the 1500s. And there's no sound in the Hebrew. Okay? There's no E's. There's no U's. Okay? That name is, if your name is Joseph, if somebody, hey, what up, Bookie? You're going to get irritated. Are you going to listen to their prayers? In the name of Bookie. Like, that's not me. What do you know what I mean? All right, go ahead.
John 9 and 1, and as Yahweh Shai passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
The man was blind from his birth. He was born that way.
And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin? This man or his parents?
So he was born that way. He's saying as a fetus. That's
John 9 and 3, it says, Yahweh Shai answered, neither hath this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him.
none of this wickedness, man, in the kingdom. We call on Yahweh shall we at the end of this night.
Brother got that word now. Get that word that we left off.
So when you get that word government in the Hebrew, it's Hamasharah. And then when you click on it in the two-letter Bible, which is the two that we use, you know, it goes into an empire. Now here,
You know, you can get a concordance. If you don't like the two letter, but you should. Be strange if you didn't.
Micah chapter 4 and verse 1, it says, but in the last days